Hello, everyone. I just wanted to hop on and share a really beautiful card reading that I did today. I was gifted this beautiful oracle deck by a friend of mine. Thank you, Kristen. And I've been hanging on to it for a couple of days, wondering how it was going to serve. And today I finally dived in and I integrated my energies with the deck. No, starting over. Hi guys, I just wanted to hop on and share with you a card reading that came through this morning. I was gifted this beautiful deck this week by my wonderful friend Kristen, who I absolutely adore and I'm grateful for sharing this with me. I've always connected with Rebecca Campbell. I have another one of her decks, Work Your Light. So I was excited to dive into the Starseed, especially because of my connection to the stars. Typically, I might do a reading for myself when I first get a new deck and integrate my energies into it, but I spent some time this week just holding space for the deck. And what came through today was to do a reading for the world and get guidance for how it is unfolding. A lot of the times when things are feeling shaky in the exterior, our own inner root or core can feel shook and confused. Fear can seep in, and I like to use oracle cards to kind of put language to some of those feelings. Some things may resonate with you and some things may not, and that's okay, that's normal. But I opened up the channel to receive guidance for the world. So I'm just going to put this out there and hope that you can find some comfort in some of the messaging that's come through. The spread that I did is called Heaven, Heart, Earth, Heart. And it's going to provide us with different messages based on heaven, heart, earth, heart, outcome, and grounded action. So our first card is Guidance from the Star Keepers, guidance for the bigger perspective. And the card that represents this is Lost Lands. Soul, memories, and gifts. You've done this before. As soon as that card flipped over, I felt it. We've been here before. Maybe not in this lifetime, but our DNA certainly has memories for us to spark certain sensations in our body when there's so much trauma happening around us. The world is far more ancient than our documented history suggests. As souls, many of us have experienced ancient eras on this planet that were much more advanced than ours today. As we begin to remember these times, the rememberings and gifts can come flooding back. At this stage in Earth's timeline, we need the wisdom of the ancients to survive as a species. You're being called to connect with the lost wisdom of your own soul. If you feel guided to make a change in your life, to step into a new career path, birth a creation, or bring an idea to life, but feel unprepared, this card is calling you to consider that you've done this before. Perhaps your soul has wisdom beyond what your lifespan can imagine. Perhaps the intuitive hits and ideas you're receiving are divinely guided. Perhaps you've been preparing for this time. Some think the lost lands exist in the past. Others believe they exist today, in a different dimension. I believe these ancient lands also exist in the souls of those who've experienced them. If this card comes to you, perhaps the wisdom of lost lands such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and Avalon exist within you. And through surrendering to the intelligence of your soul, you can unlock the seeds of these ancient lands so we can all learn from our mistakes and usher in a new age. So that's asking us to look at the bigger perspective. Maybe some of us haven't thought about the idea that the world is ever evolving and changing, and what we know as constant for the last even 20 years is just a blip in time. So there's a Starseed activation on this card as well. So if you would like, you can close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, and say, I unlock any forgotten wisdom and soul gifts from lifetimes past. So we can call on old DNA that is within us from our ancestors to call forward to help us through these scary times right now. And that's something I practice daily. So it's a really powerful tool to connect into your ancestors and activate the strength that they had through some of these really scary and uncertain times. The second card is from the heart of the matter, the heart's deepest prayer for us. And for this, we got the Fall into My Arms card. Surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. So this is a message from the heart. It's the heart's deepest prayer for us right now. The Great Mother ushered you in when you took your first breath, and she'll be there when you draw your last. She knows how challenging life can be, that being human can be lonely and confusing, that the polarity and separation can be excruciating when your soul remembers the oneness of Source. But at the same time, it can be incredibly glorious and sweet. So often, we see things as either good or bad. When things go well, we make it mean that we're being rewarded. And when things go bad, perhaps we've done something wrong. However, we're all here to expand and grow, and it's through the extremes of life that we do exactly that. You're being invited to welcome the highs and the lows of the human experience, to let them initiate you more fully into life, the agony and the ecstasy, the beauty and the bitterness. This life is but a single breath in the inextinguishable existence of your experience as a soul. The Great Mother wants you to hand over your loneliness, worries, hurt, sorrow, fears, burdens, and doubts, to lay them to her altar, to fall fully into her arms, to remember that while these extremes are difficult, they can also be magnificent. The more wildly the pendulum of your life swings, the more truthfully you can say, I've truly lived. Place your hand on your heart, if you'd like, and say, I'm ready to embrace the extremes of my life. I lay all that I'm carrying onto the Great Mother's altar and fall completely into her arms. Such a beautiful card. And right now I think that the deepest prayer is for love. So I love that that comes from the heart, and that we are being invited to just surrender and hold space for all of life's unfoldings, even the most scariest. We're protected in this, I feel. The next card comes from Earth. Guidance from the Earth Keepers. The grounded action that's required. I thought that was pretty neat that this card came out for a message from the Earth. We're being invited to explore Earth pulsing. So I've actually never explored Earth pulsing, and I'm excited to explore what that means a little bit deeper. Pulse of the Mother, slow down, time in nature. So again, this is what we're being encouraged to do. It's represented by the grounded action that's required. So when I'm channeling messages in this spread, this is what we are being asked. A mysterious pulse is woven through all of life. The planet itself has a rhythm. You can see it in the seasons and the tides. In our world of artificial lighting, long working hours, and modern conveniences, it's easy for us to feel stuck and off kilter. It's time to reconnect with nature and surrender to the pulse of the earth. Earth pulsing is my favorite tool for surrendering to the rhythmic pulse of the Mother and the entire universe. Download an earth pulsing meditation at my online catalog. I'll put that in the comments. Today, many of us are disconnected from the land beneath us. Somewhere along the way, a severing happened, a moment when it became too painful to stay connected. We feel unsupported and as if we don't belong. We look at other people and the external world to fill the void of the connection, holding, and belonging once given to us by the earth. Taking, clutching, conquering, longing for others to receive us fully as the Mother once did. Forgetting that she's still here, waiting for us to remember and activate that part of us that longs to receive her embrace. When you consciously connect with the earth, a veil is lifted and she opens up and receives you more fully. You're able to drink from her sweet waters and release what no longer serves you. Stagnant energy falls away and you become connected to all things on the planet. The Starseed activation, place your hand over your heart. I surrender to the pulse of the Mother. May my heart beat in unison with her. Well, I just love that one. I think it's really beautiful that the invitation to reconnect with nature is exactly what we're being guided to do. I think in nature we heal naturally without even trying, without writing a prescription. We just show up, notice the trees, breathe in the air. It's such a beautiful healing experience, and it will definitely help ground us through all of the unfolding. The next card is the obstacle. What's standing in the way? For this one, we have double mission. Lightworker Starseed, serve the world by being you. Lightworker Starseeds are mission and purpose orientated. Many have the feeling that time's running out and there's something they came here to do, create, or contribute. They're here to grow as souls individually and also to contribute to the planet in some action-oriented way. Their collective mission is often answered through a career calling or by devoting their life to something bigger. Until they remember their collective mission, it can feel as if something's missing or they're forgetting something important. It's common for Lightworker Starseeds to feel that they're different, and they may carry soul memories of being visible or sharing their voice. As such, they may protect themselves by dimming their light in order to fit in or by spending time in some sort of closet, such as a spiritual closet. When pulling this card, you're being called to remember your collective mission and step into it more fully. You're being reminded that your role as a light worker is to light up the world with your presence. This doesn't have to be a great thing or a decision you need to make. You also don't need to have a great big plan. If you resonate with being a light worker, all you need to do is work out what lights you up, your passions and joys, and keep doing that. When you trust and follow the simple path of things that light you up, and then lose yourself in doing, you'll light up the world without even trying. How can you serve the world by being you? Again, I'm just really loving the order that these cards are coming out. So the obstacle that's standing in the way is when we're not ourselves. And I feel that deeply. I've been on a journey for the last several years, and releasing all these things that don't feel like me anymore is confusing and scary because it's the road less traveled. But it's one that I'm taking, and I don't think I can turn back. So I'm practicing showing up as me, and even if I don't know what that is, showing up in that. the confusion, showing up in it all, without judging myself. That's the hardest part. But I think if that's the obstacle, then the solution is to just keep practicing being us. And when we tap in and tune into what we're here to do, which is whatever brings you joy, I think really beautiful things unfold. And I'm kind of doing that in my life. I'm kind of guinea pigging myself right now to trust my intuition and to just lean into whatever it is that is unfolding for me. And it's really scary and it doesn't make sense. But I haven't turned around yet. So the next card is the outcome. So the outcome of the situation that's currently being manifested. Remember that you have free will. So this outcome is just a perspective of what is unfolding in the world right now. And remember, you don't have to attach to it as your truth. It is just an offering from this oracle. I love it again because this is something that myself and my fellow community of light workers and soul sisters have been feeling for quite some time now. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. A new earth. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. I know it's hard to hold the frequency of a new age when it feels as if so much is crumbling and so many are losing faith. This is your sign that you're facing the right direction. You have a great gift in being able to see the potential of things before they exist. Tend to the new seeds. Dream them into existence. Don't lose faith now. Keep your focus fixed. Planting new seeds and bringing about a shift of the ages is no mean feat. It requires extreme trust and radical vision. If you pull this card, it's a reminder to have faith. You chose to be here, to be a part of this global shift. Whether you're bringing it about through prayer and meditation or through working on a new project, job, or creation, keep going. It's happening. Don't give up now. The world needs more dreamers like you, more people with hope in their hearts. The road ahead may not be plain sailing. Ushering in a new age in times of changes never is. You're being encouraged to remember that what you've been working toward for so long is almost here. Don't question yourself now. Don't waver. Dig your devotion deeper. For if you do, in the not too distant future, you'll be able to sit back and watch all that you've carefully planted and nurtured grow and bloom. It's possible. Keep focusing on your dreams. You're closer than you think. How can you keep holding the vision? That is really beautiful. Again, I just totally feel the connection to the order these cards are falling out. Like the outcome of this situation is a new earth. I really feel that all of these bumps and the crumbling and the new awareness around the falling systems. And I've been experiencing it in my own personal life. I've been seeing it everywhere, and I'm sure you have too. So many people have noticed that things are really rocky right now. And not in an extremely threatening way like we're seeing happening in Ukraine, but that's a global issue. So it does affect us. We're really blessed today to have the safety of our homes, and we just have to keep trusting and holding the faith. So the last pull is the card 6, grounded action, the baby step you're required to take. So to get to this outcome, a new earth where there's more peace, more light, more love, more acceptance and compassion, the message that came through for us actually came through in 2 cards, not 1. So the first card for our baby step towards the right direction is empathetic starseed. Energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Empathetic starseeds are here to shift the world through their physical presence alone. They don't need to do anything beyond being here. Thanks to the energetic charge their physical presence causes. Due to their highly sensitive nature, empathetic starseeds can struggle with being on Earth and in a physical body. Many are prone to addiction and depression or tend to mistake others' feelings for theirs. Natural introverts, they tend to prefer spending time alone or in small groups. Crowds can be overwhelming for them. If this card appears, consider lightening the load energetically. Don't put yourself under such pressure to go out into the world. Be gentle with yourself. Allow extra time and care to recover energetically. If you're feeling pressured to keep up a certain pace, instead, put on the brakes and treat yourself like a precious baby. Do whatever you can to take the pressures of the world off your plate. Switch off to switch back on. In today's world, it's normal to feel that we should be doing more, but perhaps being present in our life is enough. This could be a phase you're going through, or simply how you're being called to live your life. If your work involves giving to others, right now you're being called to keep something for yourself. You don't need to transmute it all. It's okay to look after your own growth and healing before feeling you should offer it to the world. And indeed, it's necessary if you want to continue to do so sustainably. How can you take better care of yourself energetically? What that says to me is our first step towards a new earth is to recognize that a lot of what we carry is not even ours and that we're exhausting ourselves. And that is why we see so much destruction in the world. The exterior is a reflection of the interior happening inside of us, and so many people are reporting that they're exhausted and tired and burnout. And to be honest, it's been a really crazy 3 years, but it's been a lot longer than that. It's been a gradual increase, in my opinion. The second card that comes through for our baby step is I Remember. Soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. There was a moment before you were born when you chose the conditions of the life you're living right now, when you plotted out these exact moments along the timeline of your life. We live in a world of free will, and therefore these moments become our destiny only through saying yes. The fated life is the one we were born into. The destiny is the one our soul chooses, and it takes courage and faith. If you pull this card, it's because you're likely now face to face with the choice to follow the destiny life over the fated life, to trust the path your soul is calling you toward, and to remember that this moment was prearranged on your life's timeline. You may find yourself at a crossroads, at a moment when you're being called to make a decision, to keep walking the perfectly laid out path before you, or choose the one less traveled. You may be facing a change of career, a new relationship, a difficult decision, or something else that requires courage and faith. You're being invited to remember your soul's greater plan and to surrender to it. When you're confronted with a path that's undefined, it's normal for doubt to rear its head. In fact, this is the certain sign that you're facing your soul's greater plan. Every hero in his or her life comes eye to eye with doubt. The only way around it is through it. It's all part of the larger plan. What are you being called to do to surrender to your soul's plan? And that's it. That's all the messages. I found the reading really powerful and channeling guidance for what's going on in this world. I think it's really clear that we're all being asked to step up, step aside, step down wherever you are on your journey. If you're tired, rest. That's going to heal the world. It's going to show our children and our peers and our community that it's okay to step back and recalibrate. Bringing new energy into our lives is going to be the healing factor, because the more we get in tune with ourselves, then the more we can give, the more we're in tune with love. And love is what's going to change the world, in my opinion. All right, I love you guys. Thanks for listening.